Brought to you by Bright House Financial, established by MetLife.
Many Americans rely on Social Security benefits to get them through retirement, but is it fair to assume that those monthly checks can actually support you entirely through your old age? Well, CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger joins me now to break it all down. When we hear Social Security, particularly if you're not close to retirement, you think, oh, that's like a dream that other generations could depend on, but we can't depend on Social Security, can we?
Yes, you can, partially. So let's go back a second. Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. The taxes you pay today, that FICA tax line item, that goes out to support someone who's already retired. Now, when the system was created back in the 30s, there were tons of people working and not so many people retired. So all those people working paid into the system, and we built up extra money we didn't need at that time. That was called the Social Security Trust Fund. And so what happened was, over time, it built up, but then it started to become depleted. We had fewer people working, more people retired. So here's what you're hearing about right now. You're hearing, oh my God, we're going to run out of Social Security by something like, 30 years from now, 20 years from now. It's not exactly the case. The current people who will be working at that time will be able to support 3/4 of promised benefits. So if you looked right now and you said, hey, when I'm 67, I'm supposed to get $1,500 a month. It's not going to be $1,500 a month. We're only going to have enough money and enough people paying in to give you 3/4 of that $1,500. So it's not going away. It's just that according to the promised benefits, we will not have enough people working to pay out the promised benefits.
Okay. So keeping that in mind, when should we really start thinking about our retirement and investing in our retirement?
Well, I think that Social Security was a program that was created essentially what we called for widows and orphans, meaning people who were aging, people who were really not well off on their own, and it was to help them. It became a retirement replacement in many ways as people's pensions started disappearing. Now, that started back in the 70s and 80s, where pension plans were going away. So now what we know is that a lot of Americans rely on Social Security for the bulk of their retirement savings. Unfortunately, it's not enough. So what we like people to understand is, of course, we know that there will be some Social Security there, but we want you to be saving in addition to it. So we want you to be putting money away in your retirement accounts through work, through an IRA or a Roth IRA. And sure, Social Security, it can supplement it, but it shouldn't be the only thing.
Should it, is there sort of an equation that Social Security should make up a certain percentage of your expenses, or how do you figure it out?
Well, really what you want to do is go back 2 more steps, which is, hey, what do I need for my retirement, right? And then in doing that kind of analysis, you say, what am I spending today? What am I likely to spend in the future? I would just say, whatever I'm spending today, presume you're going to spend that when you retire. A lot of times people used to say, oh, I'm going to spend less. You're probably not. Healthcare costs are going up, and people like to do stuff, and you're living a really long time. So you do the calculation and say, what I'm making today is what I'll need in the future. So let's say you need $50,000 a year to support you and your spouse. Okay, that sounds great. Then you project in the future, hey, how much money can I save in the future? How much of that will be able to support me? And what percentage of Social Security should I count on? And I would say that if you're under the age of 35, I would literally say, take whatever the Social Security benefit is that you're due to get, SSA.gov, you can figure it out. And you can actually say, let me just take 3/4 of that. And that's what you can count on. If you save enough money and you then end up with more Social Security than you count on, great, you have more money to spend as you get older. But without doing these kinds of calculations, you're kind of flying blind, and that is not a comfortable place to be.
Here's another question. Does it matter when you started working? Like, say you were out of the workforce maybe 20 years, maybe you were at home with kids or something like that, and so you start sort of putting into Social Security later on. Does that matter in terms of how much you get out?
What matters is that you get 40/4 of work over your lifetime, so 10 years essentially. And Social Security is going to take an average, and usually it will work in your benefit according to the law now, where you're going to take your higher income years. But what's really important that I see as the big mistake of Social Security, and probably if you're a millennial and you're watching this, you're not going to make this mistake for a while, but go tell your parents, is that people are claiming Social Security too early. So you can claim as early as age 62. If you do that, your benefit will be permanently reduced by about a quarter. So let's say I was supposed to get $1,000 a month. I'm going to take $750 a month, and I'm going to get that forever.
Right.
That's a bad deal. The funny thing about Social Security is the longer you wait, the better the plan gets. You have to be in good health. I can't guarantee that you're going to live and make this all work. The calculations work best if you live long and you wait until the last possible moment. You max out Social Security benefits at age 70.
Okay, some changes coming in 2018. What kind of impact will they have?
Well, I mean, you're going to get a tiny little cost of living increase. Big deal. You know, that's essentially Social Security system works based on the government's inflation figures. So when people were like, oh, what a bummer, and it's so unfair, the government's not giving me a cost of living adjustment, it was based on the inflation rate. Inflation was flat for a couple of years. So you're going to get a little bump. But really, nothing meaningful is going to happen. Do you know where you get your biggest bump in Social Security is by waiting to claim your benefit. At the very least, your full retirement age. And again, if you can wait till age 70, the difference between your full retirement age and age 70 amounts to an extra approximately 8% a year more in benefits. So what we really hope people are, it's huge, and that's a guarantee. So what we want people to do is we want to save up for retirement. We want to spend our retirement savings so that we can delay claiming Social Security. If you claim at age 70, wow, you're going to get a lot more money. You're going to have that savings. It works out really beautifully. Okay, now if you have no money and you're freaking out right now, I get it. So that's true, and it doesn't mean that you don't save. It means you save a tiny bit and get in the habit of saving.
All right, all good advice. Jill Schlesinger, thank you very much.
Sure.
Brought to you by Bright House Financial, established by MetLife.